have breaking news. A live police pursuit happening on the air. This white van is heading down the 5 freeway in the Santa Clarita area. We're trying to confirm some more information for you, but our chopper is clocking speeds of around 80 miles per hour so far. Yeah, right now details are limited. This van is going northbound on the 5 near the Santa Clarita area. It started just a few minutes ago. We're trying to figure out why this pursuit started, who's in this vehicle, who's driving. But at this point, 91 miles per hour, definitely speeding up on this freeway. Yeah, we know that LAPD is in pursuit right now. That is the lead agency involved in this chase, so we can safely assume that they are the agency that had the initial want for the suspect. Okay, it looks like he might be exiting right here. Exiting the freeway now, exiting the 5 freeway. We'll try and, this is which exit? The Calgrove exit, okay. And Santa Clarita. We're hearing that LAPD is trying to get CHP to assist with this. Obviously, they have the ability to do so from the ground and the air. So LAPD in pursuit of this driver now in the Santa Clarita. We are now on residential streets, surface streets here off of the 5 freeway, heading now to another intersection. We haven't seen how this driver has behaved quite yet. Right. So we really don't know exactly what they're capable of doing right now, but obviously they're intent on not stopping. Right, and as far as driving goes, 65, 63 miles per hour. Not exactly sure where this van is going, but as you can see, it is broad daylight. Thankfully, not a lot of people out there, not a lot of traffic. But if observe and watch this van go. He was just on northbound 5. It looks like there's some kind of markings on the side of this van. I know sometimes people use these paneled vans for personal use, but it looks like maybe this is a commercial van or something. It's really hard to see. I can't quite tell what that is on the side door there as our photographer zooms in a little bit. This may or may not be a work vehicle. It looks like it might be slowing down. Okay, 27. It's slowing down right now. We're trying to get some information about what intersection this is here. Obviously, this is in a neighborhood. Creekside Drive in Calgrove in Santa Clarita. Creekside Drive in Calgrove in Santa Clarita. It looks like it might be stopping right here, potentially pulling over 18 miles per hour, definitely going a lot slower. And this is a residential neighborhood, so thankfully, this van is going slow. You know, there's a lot of kids out there playing 4th of July weekend. People walking their dogs. Now, keep in mind, the camera is very tight on this van right now, so we really don't see if there's some kind of melee behind him as far as the number of police officers who are chasing this suspect right now. We don't know if it's a man or a woman. We don't know how many people are in this van or what the initial want was. But obviously, things look to be slowing down.
6,
and Chris,
5,
as you mentioned, this is certainly a good thing because this is a neighborhood where a lot of people seem to be out walking.
Surrender. Let's see.
So let's see what happens right here, because typically in these situations, if this driver complies, that's when LAPD is going to want to surround them, but it doesn't quite look like they're ready to give up.
They may have a lot of questions trying to figure out what's going on themselves, you know, who knows.
Well, we can't ever speak to the frame of mind of these people who run from the police. We really don't know, and we do need to get more details. And remember, because we don't know what the circumstances are here, police may have to assume that they're dealing with somebody who's armed. We really don't know.
And we want to let people know from CBS 2, we're going to go to KCAL 9. So if you want to continue to watch this pursuit, once it ends here at 5:30 on CBS 2, it'll go to KCAL 9. It looks like this person is in a cul-de-sac now, turning around. Hopefully it's blocked off.
Oh, here we go. This is an opportunity for LAPD to really put a stop to this. And it looks like that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to block this driver in. This person has not given themselves a lot of options. Guns are out. They're pointed at the driver right now. We see at least 2 squad cars, 4 officers on the ground, 3 or 4 of them. Another officer now. All of their guns are drawn. There's really nowhere for this person to go unless they decide to bail on foot. And again, there are not a lot of options here, considering they're stopped in this cul-de-sac. I want to ask my producers to repeat exactly where this is happening.
So you're going to see, if you look in the bottom of the screen, it's kind of hard to see, but it looks like Clearbank Lane and Creekside Drive, so a neighborhood in Santa Clarita.
So okay, so this is on one of those streets, the cul-de-sac, Clearbank and Creekside, and it looks like Clearbank is the street that it's on, because that is the street that ends.
And it looks like the hands appear to be up, so this person potentially could be surrendering.
Well, that's certainly the hope here.
Okay, what do we...
As you know, as is typical in situations like this, the officers are giving their commands. They're telling the driver to come out with their hands up. They want to make sure that there are no possible weapons on this person, that they do not pose a threat to their officers. That is why you see guns drawn here. And we're waiting to see if they do this, if they comply with their orders.
And you can imagine the people in this neighborhood who are just enjoying their Saturday afternoon, and you see this pursuit come to an end in the cul-de-sac, guns drawn, CHP officers out there probably wondering what's going on. But as you can see, okay, the door is opening It appears this person does not have any weapons in their hand. And don't close the door, and you close the door.
Well, we'll have to see here, because sometimes this ends up being a little bit of a negotiation process for the officers to try and get this person. I do see CHP there.
CHP.
Yeah, that does look like they're on the ground too, so it looks like they're assisting with this. They have a lot of experience with pursuits. Of course, LAPD does as well, and they are going to try and get this driver to do exactly what they want. One positive here is that they have a very clear view through the window, so they're very close. They're in close proximity. They're probably able to see what that person is doing, but they want to make sure there is no risk. They want to mitigate that risk and make sure that person is not armed or does not pose some kind of other threat.
And it appeared the driver was about to exit the van, but who knows what they're talking about. The officers may have said, "Hey, get back in the van," until they decide, is this person safe? Is this person going to cause harm to the officers, to the neighborhood? Those are all questions that are unknown. But as far as the driver goes, seems to be flailing his or her arms.
Yeah, we don't know.
Potentially.
We don't know anything about the suspect just yet, but that is something our assignment desk is checking on. I assure you. The main question here is figuring out what the initial want was, why LAPD started chasing this person, and where that started. Obviously, it could have started in any number of places. This person was on the 5 freeway, which traverses through a large part of Los Angeles County.
And just by observation, when this van was driving down the freeway, we saw speeds up to 90 miles per hour. That van exited the interstate and then from there went into this residential neighborhood. And what was good to see is the speeds slowed down significantly, which was definitely good. But like we mentioned right here, we don't know why this person was pulled over to begin with. All we know is that this pursuit came to an end in this cul-de-sac here in Santa Clarita. The driver, who knows? No information. All we know is that this is a residential neighborhood in Santa Clarita. So if you're watching this right now, this is what we have.
So basically right now, the process as it will play out, again, is this is negotiation period between the officers and between the person who is in this van. We have a very clear vantage point from our helicopter here, but there are things that we do not see from the ground, including what is inside the van, and it's not necessarily just a gun or a knife. There are any number of things that could pose a threat to this officer, and they also have to deal with the possibility of another person in this vehicle, willingly or unwillingly. Again, the circumstances really determine how they're going to proceed here. And I can tell you from past experiences, they do want to minimize that risk as much as possible before they come into direct contact with this person.
And I just want to let people know that once it hits 5:30, we will be getting off of CBS 2, but CBS in Los Angeles will continue streaming the rest of this pursuit. Hopefully, everything works out in, the favor of the officers and no one's injured in this neighborhood. But, we'll have to wait and see what happens there.
Yeah, so for now, we are going to wrap things up here on CBS 2 News at 5 o'clock. Our coverage will terminate here at the half-hour mark. If you would still stay with us, we ask that you turn over to KCAL 9 News to continue watching as this standoff plays out between LAPD and this suspect here in the Santa Clarita neighborhood. We're trying to wait and see what the next move is going to be on behalf of officers and that suspect.